Hello, you are welcome again, all you, my friends, viewers, and partners in business, to our question and answers video lecture. This topic is management information. And then, before I discuss more on dates, let me tell you about myself. I am Pastor Femi Richworld Aiyeolowo, a member of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of Nigeria, an associate member. I am the managing partner, Speedysuccess Professional, an accredited tuition center for providing tuition for all candidates writing ICON exam, ACA exam, and others. I am also the founding partner of Solid Rock Management Center at Igondo, Okofilling by Lasso Sherry Road in Lagos State. I have lectured in a number of places, starting from Able God Professional at Igondo, Ikotun. I also lectured various courses in financial management, accounting, financial reporting, and ethics, with treasure hall trainings at Festac. A little while, I also went to top talented tuition center at Lekki by Ekota. I am presently the technical secretary to the Institute of Chartered Accountants of Nigeria Joe Badagry District Society. Ladies and gentlemen, I am also an associate partner and consultant with Signal House Consulting, owned by Dr. Greg. Dr. Greg is a popular accountant and also the technical advisor to the Public Account Committee of the National Assembly presently. Let me not bore you with my person. I am here to ensure that as many that watch this video will definitely pass their exam with ease. Go ahead and take note that our aim is to ensure that you have a video lecture that will look as if you are in a classroom. And so wherever you are, by your telephone, by your office, in your house, you can go ahead and watch these videos. It is definitely going to help you pass the exam. Let's talk about MI. Management information, some call it management information system. The ACC call it just management accounting. It's a course that has threefold perspective. Threefold perspective is you have management accounting concepts there. You also have cost accounting concepts, and you have information technology aspects. We're saying that if you must pass this exam, like I have said to so many of my students, you do not just go ahead and answer questions on the calculations alone. You are expected to answer 4 questions out of 6 in the theory part. You must answer at least one information technology question. If you have done that and you have watched our video and you go to the exam and you do whatever we have asked you to do, I'm sure you will be in your skill level in the next diet. Ladies and gentlemen, once more, I welcome you to this wonderful past question and answer class on management information system. Thank you. Let's go. We are taking question 1. I want to inform you that we have taken questions from 10 topics. 10 questions, 10 topics. We are concerned with tough areas since we're in the classroom. So we are here also on the screen. We are concerned with top questions or top topics that you hardly see lecturer taking them because of the time constraint during the lecture time in the diet. Some of the lecturers took exemption while they were qualifying, so they don't know how to attend to it. Instead of that, as a professional accountant, you are not qualified. You are not allowed to say you can do it when you cannot do it. When someone is a chartered accountant, they tend to seem to be an expert in all things. So they tend to dodge some of the topics. So in this video, we are ensuring that none of the topic is exempted, especially those topics that make you pass the exam. Number one topic now is forecasting. Forecasting. Just go ahead and look at the question where I talk about forecasting. Now, as a management accountant, you are expected to carry out regular planning. You know, I've asked a question in the classroom, what are the three major roles of a management accountant or a cost accountant? Some of my students now, I say, okay, students, you are here with me, tell them. And they say, oh, role of planning, decision making, and controlling. The reason you are a management accountant is to ensure that your company does not do anything without a plan. If you do it, you're definitely going to have a problem in the future. So there must be a reason for planning, and we cannot plan without a past information, or we call it historical data. Then you must agree after your planning that you are taking a particular decision, the decision to do or not to do. When you take that decision, the data of planning is used as a guide, as a direction, and then you go ahead and monitor your achievement, your activity, your performance, and that makes a company to run well. And that's why we're talking about forecasting. So how do you help company to forecast what will happen in the next 3 quarters, what will happen in the next 3 years? And that's what we are in forecasting. Now, in forecasting, you are expected to know time series calculation, which we say it is T plus S plus C and plus R, where it will allow you to calculate a trend line. Also, by that you also can do what we call line of best fit. So you are there. Let's go. This company is Ironing Company Limited. They are into trading business. That's question one. The company is about to start a new branch at Ibadan, their Lagos office. Says year 1, year 2, and 3. Then quarter 1, all the figures are in round off in million, 40 million, 55, 79, and then 4, 44, 59, 86, 47, 64, 96, and the last quarter 51, 67, and 104. You have been appointed as the new management accountant of the company. The CEO has required you to use the above information to calculate 1, the seasonal variation of the values, 2, average seasonal variation, and then 3, from the above, you can go ahead and calculate or present a forecast of sales for quarter 4 in year 4 and the expected sales in the same quarter at Ibadan if all things are equal. You are given a note that you should use additive model or forecasting. Take note, forecasting have 2 major models of presenting future figure, which is additive model and proportional model. All right, let's continue from here. Now we want to go and solve this question. Look at the solution. Don't worry yourself, just carefully look at the solution. Write down what you can see. Write down. The workings are below, you will see, and I'm going to explain them, no problem. I'm looking at this question as a target question for the diet as number 1, so please learn it. The solution profile that we have 3 years, and a year has 4 quarters. So if you check our listing when you come to the moving average calculation, we have 12 quarters. In calculating moving average, when the data you are given is an even number, the moving average will always stay in between 2 items, and that will give us a challenge. So we're expected to also calculate central moving average. And so when you get our working page, you will see that the central moving average generated 47.338 for quarter 3. Quarter 3 found to be the beginning, it is the first trend line, and then we go ahead like that. When you have that, the calculation is expected that if you must do this, actual sales in each of this quarter that has a trend line should be related to the trend line, and that's how what we call variation. We call it what? Variation. Variation therefore is actual less moving average. And so when you less 47.38 from 47, you have a negative 0.38. So you do the same. The formulas are up, you can look at it. variation, actual, less, moving average. Can we go ahead? So quarter 4, year 1, quarter 4 is the next item. Year 2, quarter 1, and all the year 2 has all the quarters 1, 2, 3, 4, and the year 3 has 2 quarters, and we have this formula. So that's what the examiner wants to see. So we have calculated the moving average, demonstrating to us our variation. So we can go ahead and look at question B, calculation of average seasonal variation, which is what the examiner was asking you to do. We go ahead and put the years in quarter. Variations are stated quarter 1, 2, 3, and 4, and we have a total now. Now, from part 1 or step 1, from the first page, you have seen we have, this is where I'm discussing now. We put these figures here, and then we move them to this point. We have, there's nothing in year 1, quarter 1, nothing in year 2, year 1, quarter 2, but in quarter 3 of year 1, you have minus 3.8, and then 0.75 for quarter 4. Then you take it to year 2, you have all the items, and these are the figures. These are the figures. You can go back and watch it. There's a figure. And then year 3, you have this, and you have this. Nothing in these 2 quarters. We're expected to now add these 2 items, this, and you divide by 2. It will give you an average of minus 0.94. Don't worry yourself. I'm not going to be in haste. Just take your calculator with you and go ahead and test all the figures. Just test one. We're okay. When we have done for all the quotas, we're expected to add them together. This plus this plus this plus this, and it will give you a 0. Now, this figure does not give us a 0. Since that happened, you are expected to carry out what we call variation adjustment. You adjust the figure by dividing this by 4. We have the number of 4 quarters. Divided by 4, and what you have is this. What you have is this. What you have is this. And then you'll add up. You come here become what? 0. Here must be what? 0. Alright? Now, when you now add this with this, you have this. Add this with this, you have this. Add this with this, you have this. Alright? That's what we call seasonal adjustment. Seasonal adjustment. You have answered 2 questions. Let's go to the next one. Now, you need to now carry out your forecast for year 4. If you go to our working page, you will see that the trend say for quarter 4, year 4 will be 132,750,000 naira. And then we go back to the adjustment for quarter 4 in our average seasonal variation calculation. You'll see that it is 0.28 approximately to 2 decimal point. 0.28. 0.28. Can you see it? This is it. This is it. All right. Now this figure is taken added to the trend line. You will soon see the trend line when we come to the working page of if we're in Ibadan and we're selling according to the trend. It means that by the time we get to the last quarter in year 4, we will be able to sell up to 132,750,000 naira. Now, expecting that there will be variation, we need to add 0.28 to it, and it will give us a sale forecast of 133.03. That is 133,030,000 naira. If that's approximately the figure. Okay, are we together? Are you okay? Now we're going to look at the working so that when you watch the working, you can go back and see how the figures are. Don't watch this video without having a note on your pen with you and your calculator. It will help you to master it. All right. The study pack has information. I am giving you information. Okay. Let's go. Now, the following must be noted in solving questions relating to seasonal variation and forecast. Number 1, line of best fit. It is used to determine the trend of data value. Number 2, additive model. Is using additive model in seasonal variation, the following step must be used. Number 1, calculate the difference between the actual value and the moving average. Then group the seasonal variation in quarters or in days or in months, depending on the cycle or the information the examiner gave to you. Then go ahead and calculate the average of the seasonal variation. Go ahead, calculate the average of the seasonal variation. and then spread the difference of the total seasonal variation evenly if they do not add up to 0 to adjust the value of the seasonal variation. Examiner can call it a variation adjustment. Note, it is adjusting the seasonal variation toward 0. Can we go ahead? Now, we go to the working one. So when you watch the working, go back and watch the solutions we provided. Now, determination of moving average and central moving average. You can see that we have used our central moving average as our trend line. I would like to go back at least for 1 minute for you to say. Now, can you say 4.73, 5.75, 56.75, 51? I go back 4.738, 1.75, 56.75, 62.75, 70.13, 78, 86.13, 93.38. Go back to it now. Go back to the working page. You can see these are the information we gave. So the actual central moving average. Why? When we set up the quotas, we have the actual figure of 40, 44, 47, and then when you add 1, 2, 3, 4, that makes a cycle. It makes what? A cycle, because we have 4 quotas. And when you divide these 3 items by 4, you actually get a total of 132. And by the time you divide it to 4.5, 45.5 is in between 47, 44, and 47. So, and when what we're looking for is an average that must stay on either this, or this. So this average stayed in between. Why? The data given to us are even number. They are 12. Assuming the examiner give us a 13th card data, a 13 number, or a 15, you would not have something like this. You will have all the data falling on a particular item. So long as an even data, historical data given to you, please note this. Even though I speak fast, please note this. The examiner is either going to give you a data that will fall, maybe if he give you 5 working days in a week, and he give you 3 weeks to work, either definitely that data is not going to be an even number. So you can easily find your moving average. But if you give you 4 days in a week, or a 4 weeks in a month, definitely you will have an even number. That is 4 times 4 will give us 16 is an even number. So when you are looking for the moving average, it will keep you in between 2 items. Are we together? That's the secret. It will keep you between 2 items. And most times the examiner would like to give you even numbers so as to force you to calculate central moving average. If you are not taught and you see this kind of question in the exam, don't touch it, because you are going to write nonsense. And the examiner will not tolerate you writing nonsense. All right? Can we go? So when we have this, we have 82, 182, and then we divide it by 4. We can see the division, moving average. This is simply moving average. Dividing your cycle with the total of the cycle. Let me say it again. Moving average is dividing your cycle with the total of the moving average. And so we have this. The second cycle, 44, 47, 51, 55. It gives us this, and we have this. And so we have to the end. And that happens, we needed an average that will be in between an item. So when you add 4.45.5 plus this, it will give you this figure. And it relates to what? Quarter 3. That's where we started from, quarter 3. So you got it now? Did you get it? Are you happy now? It's not difficult. Let's continue. All right, so that's how we got all of them. So for each of the 2 figures, you go ahead and add together, divide by 2, add together by 2, and you solely fall on the item they are supposed to be. All right, so we get to the end. At the end of the day, you find ourselves ending with quarter 10, where quarter 10 is 93.38 in the central moving average. So that's how to calculate moving average and central moving. And I've told you why we are doing both. Why we did both is that we're supposed to get moving average, but since the information given to us is in even number, that will force us to do what we call central moving average, CMA. Go ahead. Then, for us to now go ahead and work our forecast, we will need to use our high and low method so as to get our variable sales per unit, variable sales per, and you know, variable sales or variable cost per unit is what? Constant. Is what? Constant. For those of us who have been attending or reading our note very well, there are things that are constant in cost analysis or in analyzing using our line of best fit, which is y is equal to a plus bx. You can see our line of best fit demonstrated here. Now, quarter 10 is the last quarter in the standard moving average. It has 93.38 and it has assumed to be the highest. Quarter 3 is the starting point, which is the lowest. So when you use your high and low method, take 47.3 from 93.38, you have 46.0. And then 10, which is quarter 10, less quarter 3, you have 7. Where you divide the answer in value of millions of naira by 7, you have 6.57 million, which actually is a moving trend, is a constant figure, is the difference between one quarter to the other. Therefore, you can use this to carry out your trend for quarter 4, year 4, which is y, which is the total say, equals to a constant beginning place 4.738 plus 6.57 times 13 quarters. How? Quarter 4, year 4, if you count from the beginning, we make a total of 16 quarters, 16. And our starting point is quarter 3. Therefore, take away quarter 3 from, or just take 3 from 16, you have a 13. I like to repeat this carefully. Your cycle in year 4 will end with 16, quarter 16. And if you must find the difference or find the total of that value, you must use variable sales per unit multiplied by the difference between starting point and the ending point. Ending point is, just look at it. This is a demonstration, all right? Where x is 13, 16 minus 3, quarter 16 minus quarter 3. So that's what we got. So we finally got a trend. I will take my time again because of time. Go back and show you the forecast answer. You see, that generates 132,750,000 naira. And then I go back to the place you have seen it. This is what we got. So you can have got your trend for that quarter. You will now go ahead and adjust the trend by 0.28, which we have done. Add it up to by 0.28. Can you see? So it will give you full forecast. You can now go ahead and tell management, if we must go to Ibadan and nothing is changing, by year 4, quarter 4, our sales will be 133,000 million in rounding off to nearest million. Okay, and all the 6 men and the production manager can be put on work, so we can set target for them and expect that they can do better or less, but the variance must not be too far. And that's how companies come ahead and say, we are given a certain target. Somebody must have carried out a forecast. Somebody must have used a forecasting model to develop a standard. This topic is so practical that you can apply it even in your company as a managing director or as an MD or as a managing accountant. It is very easy. You can easily find what it will be like in the next quarter. Just like I'm here, I can easily know that these videos may get to more and more Nigerians and Africa and other professional students as the days go by. You are welcome and thank you for question 1 has ended.